So we've talked a lot about Armor Digivolution and how Armor Digivolution's traits would affect a Digimon. Whether it's Digimon that haven't Armor Digivolved getting to Armor Digivolve, whether it's Armor Digimon digivolving further. But what we haven't really talked about is the crests themselves. We've done partner swaps in this channel where we've kind of seen what would happen if a Digimon swapped its partner, specifically in the adventure continuity and beyond. That only involved kind of one crest swap. Instead, I was thinking about what if each Digimon got to use all of the crests, the crests having an associated amount of elements with them. Courage being related to, in the adventure continuity, including 02, fire, the sun, dinosaurs, and the Agumon evolution line. But what if Greymon got to use all the crests to digivolve? What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. And yesterday we're going to explore what it might look like if Greymon, in a hypothetical new series, Adventure 2020, whatever it may be, got to use all the crests, all 8 crests from Digimon Adventure. And hey, real quick, paisanos, we're about to hit 66,000 subscribers over here on YouTube, which is phenomenal. But I've been seeing people on Twitter saying that, oh, Pokemon's so successful, Digimon, no one even knows about Digimon anymore. I think we can prove them wrong. If you like Digimon videos, if you're here to watch Digimon videos, please like and subscribe. I would love to hit 100,000 subscribers and get that plaque. Obviously, because I want the subscribers, it's great to have that on my resume, but also so we can prove to people that Digimon is still popular, that the Digimon fan base is not going anywhere and we are thriving. So if you want to help me or if you want to prove some people wrong, please subscribe. I'm not going to be talking about Armor Digi-Egg crests because we've never seen what their default evolutions would be. Same really with Kindness, just those 8 crests in the original adventure. I initially wanted this to be all Digi-Destined using all crests, but that's 8 times 8. It's a ton of Digimon. That's 8 Digimon, each with 2 new Digivolutions each. 8 times for each crest. That's 128 Digimon for one video, and if I talk about a Digimon a minute, which I don't always do, that's a 2-hour video right there. What this means then is as we look at the evolutions for Greymon, because let's not forget Greymon is the champion, you can kind of become a champion in the adventure continuity kind of without a crest. If you look at the adventure 2020 continuity, the crest seems to activate basically any time they digivolve, but I think if we're looking more specifically to the tags and crests of the original adventure, what we're looking for here is Greymon to become a different ultimate and a mega, and when we do Garurumon that will be the case, we'll do Togemon, and I think branching off from the champion just gives us a little bit more work to do. First of all, it's a lot more difficult to find something that works as an ultimate and a mega, whereas you can make a rookie kind of transmutate to anything. So choosing the champion or adult level Digimon from the adventure continuity makes it really hard to pivot into something that fits. So of course, normally Agumon becomes Greymon, Metal Greymon, and War Greymon. Those are the traits of courage, I guess. And if you look at that into 02, you can see how Flame Dramon also embodies the crest of courage. He's a dragon or dinosaur. Dinosaurs and dragons are basically the same thing in Japanese media a lot of the time. He has flames and he has claws. So if Greymon were to digivolve with the crest and tag of friendship, well, what traits do we have from the Garurumon line? We have ice, we have wolves, we have white and blue fur, metallic elements from Metal Garurumon, bipedal elements from Were Garurumon, and if we want to go to the Digi-Egg of friendship in 02, lightning elements? Oh no, still don't know about that one. But that's why I think I'm going to have Friendship Greymon become Crisp Hail Dramon and Hexablaumon. It becomes a Dramon, which I think is fine. I know War Greymon has Dramon killers, but the difference between a dinosaur Digimon and a dragon Digimon is very similar. And it's not like War Greymon or a Greymon evolution inherently has to be the enemy of Dramon Digimon. I think the only thing I'd like here is more wolfy elements, but unfortunately I think anything more wolf-like or bestial ends up losing some of the more dinosaur elements that we're looking for in a Greymon evolution. So marrying wolves with dragons is not super easy in this fandom. We don't really have a wolf dragon, unfortunately, but I do think Agumon to Greymon to Crisp Hail Dramon to Hexablaumon works in a fun way. And you can just imagine, let's say that Greymon had already become Metal Greymon and War Greymon, to then use the crest of friendship to get this completely different evolution line would be really fun. Love presented my first challenge. However, the crest of love is associated with the Wind Guardians, but also fire and flying and Dramon. Interesting that it has another Dramon connection. Also Garudamon and Phoenixmon. So when I thought about all that, it all slotted into place for me because I think Greymon with the crest of love would become Cargo Dramon, matching up to Bird Dramon, and the War Greymon variant of the D Brigade, Brigade Dramon. It does not have the typical kind of fire associated with the crest of love, but again, if we look at the Digi-Egg of Love in 02, the themes are steel and flying birds. That's true of actually pretty much all the crest of love Digivolutions: metal, armor, and flying. And if Cargo Dramon and Brigade Dramon are anything, they are armored and they are flying, and I think that works works really well for Greymon. Likewise, Sincerity is fun. Some of you may be about to see a theme forming. Sincerity's themes in the base adventure are just grass and to an extent femininity. Togemon kind of bucks that trend, however I think that's intentional, bulk versus prettiness, whatever, but then Lilymon and Rosemon really return to femininity. However, if we look at how the Digi-Egg of Sincerity manifests, it combines that plant life theme with a traditional Japanese warrior aesthetic, or traditional Japanese anyway. We talked about that in my Sincerity Digivolution Lines video. And just like in that video, I'm at a bit of a crossroads. Do I lean into the very plant-like elements of specifically Mimi's partnered evolutions, or do I focus in on that traditional Japanese aesthetic of the Digi-Egg? So I've come to two different conclusions. My first one is Greymon with the Crest of Sincerity becoming Teropiamon, a plant dinosaur, and then Hydramon. I don't know if Greymon would become the Hydrasy. However, Teropiamon I think is pretty strong. It kind of feels almost like it could be instead of a metal Greymon, a plant Greymon, you know? However, if instead of plant life, we focused in on that traditional Japanese aesthetic, I think a different branch to go with for Sincerity could be Greymon to Greydmon, and then another War Greymon variant, Gaiomon. I really want to try and use as many War Greymon variants as fit here, so I think you can see why I'm tempted to go Greydmon and Gaiomon for Greymon. However, I do think the plant life element, the flower element, is very important, while still preserving some dinosaur or dragon elements, so my heart leans more towards Teropiamon and Hydramon, but I see great merit in including at least Gaiomon as a War Greymon variant that might use the Crest of Sincerity. I'm going to leave this one up to you guys. I think you can kind of see that I'm very split on this one, and I don't think there's an objectively correct decision. Let me know your thoughts. Also, as a bit of an outlier, I think Dino Rexmon would be really fun for the Crest of Sincerity too, if you don't want to use Hydramon as a dinosaur Digimon that also is very green, and while I don't think it's supposed to be plant life, it kind of looks like plant life, you know? Could definitely work as Greymon Sincerity Mega. I also couldn't find viable dark Digivolutions for this video, however I do think, specifically for Sincerity, Entmon would be a fantastic Greymon dark Digivolution of Sincerity. I can't use Skullbalukimon for friendship, because to me that is like so good as a Garurumon dark Digivolution similar to Skull Greymon, but Entmon for Greymon would be fantastic. Moving over to reliability, well, there's not really a water-based War Greymon variant you'll be thankful to hear. I was tempted by Aegistramon, but I think I'm going to save that for someone else. So I think honestly a pretty easy line could be Agumon to Greymon to Mega Seadramon and then Giga Seadramon, taking on the ocean and aquatic elements of the Crest of Reliability, but not feeling too much of a clone to Ikakumon, Zudomon, and Vikemon or Plesiomon, and unfortunately Plesiomon would actually be pretty good as a dinosaur, but we can't use it for Greymon because it's still in my mind very tied to Gomamon and Ikakumon. So yeah, there's not a ton of dinosaur Digimon I think would work for reliability, so we are going to go with these dragons, but I think Giga Seadramon is suitably epic to feel good alongside things like War Greymon and Hexablaumon and even Brigadramon, and honestly any Digimon could go in the ultimate slot here, but I think Mega Seadramon's enough of a difference to feel good. Knowledge is kinda where this video comes apart. Knowledge, of course, in adventure is tied to Tentomon and Izzy. Bugs, insects, and when we look at how it manifests in the 0-2 canon, Digimon is also a bug, but also has like earth elements, and that's what its reference book listing refers to, it getting earth elements too. The Digimantle of Knowledge apparently has the attribute of earth, so you could extend that, and that's why I think one good path for Greymon with the Crest of Knowledge could be Greymon into Groundramon. Again, it's a dragon, not a dinosaur, but close enough, and it is ground related, setting it up nicely to become Breakdramon. Again, this is much more like a Digimon armor interpretation of the Crest of Knowledge than a adventure interpretation of the Crest of Knowledge, but frankly there are not bug dinosaurs that exist or at least fit in the ultimate and mega slots we're looking for. They just don't exist. Though a pretty sizable component of the whole Tentomon line is electricity. Electroshocker, you know? And we have seen that connection be introduced in Digimon Adventure 2020. The electricity vibe of the Tentomon line and this electric area being the motivation for Blitz Greymon to appear. I want to clarify, Tentomon didn't have anything to do with Blitz Greymon, but it was very clearly intentional that like Kabuterimon, Atla Kabuterimon, Metal Life Kuwagamon, and that Thunder area were all kind of connected together to lead to Blitz Greymon narratively. So Agumon with the Crest of Knowledge becoming Blitz Greymon could work, I think. The pre-evolution for that, well, again, it's pretty tough. You could keep it as Groundramon, you could go with something crazy like War Growlmon if you wanted to, go a little bit more out there with it, maybe have Metal Greymon Greymon Alterous Mode be the pre-evolution, just like it kind of is in Adventure 2020. Alterous Mode having a little bit more electricity going on with its railgun, or maybe even like a Pulsemon evolution. I don't think this works as a Greymon evolution, but Clymon is an ultimate level insect with an electrical vibe. I don't know, it could be something. Honestly, personally, I'm leaning more towards Groundramon and Breakdramon, or maybe Groundramon and Blitz Greymon. The Crest of Hope, our holy crest, or one of them at least. Typically belonging to TK and Patamon, Angemon, Magna Angemon, Seraphimon, and Godramon in the Adventure 2020 canon. In Adventure 02, the Digi-Egg of Hope has a connection to Constellation and the stars, and also kind of horse-like animals. Don't worry about that too much. That's when it struck me that I think a really modern Digimon could be a ton of fun as a Greymon evolution. Kano Vicemon. And I would go so far as to say that its Mega could be Siriusmon. And this is more of a fun connection than you might think, because Kano Vicemon and Siriusmon, yes, get their name from constellations. Kano Vicemon getting its name from Canopus and the word Weiss in German, white. And Siriusmon getting its name from Sirius in Canis Major. They're both these big winged white Digimon, which while they're not angelic wings, I think is a great match to Angemon, Magna Angemon, and Seraphimon. A dinosaur dragon. Siriusmon is literally referred to as a light dragon, and again, while we don't have a dinosaur that fits the bill, I think a light dragon is pretty great for a Hope Crest Greymon evolution. I'm not going to talk about Omnimon in this video because I don't think there's a Digimon that really fits anything we've seen so far, and I want to kind of talk about the other kids' crests and how their Digimon partners would use them before we start talking about level 7s or Ultras. However, the fact that Proximamon exists would be fantastic. We could use it as the Omnimon equivalent, the DNA Digivolution, level 7 of the Greymon Siriusmon, of Ty's Siriusmon, and someone else's, whether that be Matt's Courage Mega or something else. And finally, we are on the Crest of Light, Ty's sister's crest. And I wanted this to feel important. I wanted this to feel like there is a true resonance between these crests, because let's not forget, in the plot of Digimon Adventure, Matt and Ty's connection to TK and Kari is a huge moment in the defeat of Myotismon, the two angels piercing with the arrows. It clearly matters, this sibling connection. It's just a sibling connection, don't be gross. So I want, when Ty's partner Greymon uses the crest of Ty's sister, for something more thematic between the two to resonate. And that's when I settled on Greymon with the Crest of Light becoming Maildramon. Now I know, Maildramon is an armor Digimon. It's also heavily associated with Kari and Gatomon, especially again in the 2020 continuity, or at least Dark Maildramon is. And while it is an armor and has been used as a champion, it's also been used as an ultimate level before, and that is one of those armor Digimon that I can really see as a champion or an ultimate. When I do my light armor Digivolutions video, I probably will provide a champion line for Maildramon and an ultimate line for it. This connection to Kari I think is good, and again, kind of works I think from Greymon. As for the Mega, well, I think a great looking Digivolution for Maildramon is Dynasmon. And Dynasmon would do something similar to Siriusmon, which makes sense. Hope and Light are counterpart crests in Adventure and 02. Dynasmon being a Royal Knight is a fun connection. Ty using his sister's crest goes from having a Mega Digivolution in War Greymon, which is only half of a Digimon in the Royal Knights, Omnimon, to having a Digimon fully in the Royal Knights. It's also a big white dragon with blue wings, matches up nicely to the Siriusmon pick for the Crest of Hope. And honestly, its headpiece feels very good as a Greymon family member. However, something else I considered for Greymon's Light Mega is kind of the last War Greymon variant we haven't properly used that should be in this video, Victory Greymon. Victory Greymon is a Dragon Man type Digimon in the Dragon's Roar. Vindication for all the dragons I've used in this video. I knew there'd be a twist at the end. Victory Greymon is known as the Dragon Warrior of Heroes. It is this huge, powerful Greymon. Again, a subspecies of War Greymon, though I think feeling like a stage up from War Greymon sometimes. And also it's said that Victory Greymon cannot be born from a Digitama, but instead is through an artificial data intervention, which in the Adventure continuity could be Ty lending the crest of his sister, creating a version of Greymon, of War Greymon, that we've never seen before in the Adventure continuity. A mix of gold and silvers. And that's why I think that Greymon to Maildramon to Victory Greymon works very well. A hero of light. The Digimon of courage with the Crest of Light. And that is it. My ideas for what it might look like if Greymon could use all the crests from Digimon Adventure with its evolution lines. Let me know if you like this idea in the comments down below. I'd love to do Garurumon, Togemon, so on. At least 7 more videos, right? I also am currently about to rewatch Digimon Adventure, so I might fold in a little bit more lore opportunities in these videos. I want to see if this one would do well before I start started like going down a 50 episode rabbit hole, you know? Let me know if there's a pick that you like better in the comments down below. Remember, this is always just subjective. It's not objective truth. It's just my fun ideas, things I like. But if you have a lore connection, let me know too. Thank you to my sovereign on Patreon, ZDK14, as well as all the people that support me on patreon.com/Karn EX, and to my channel members here on YouTube. I appreciate you all very much, and I'll see you next time when we go to Digital. Bye bye.